There we go.
And we are live, 100% live and alive from Visionaries Unlimited. And today of Unlimited, you'll hear about abundance and what it takes and why you need to have that abundant mindset eventually. It's always something very important to think through, and it's always something important to implement in our own lives to, well, make our story epic. So today I have this t-shirt, and every single time that I read what's written, I really think in order to make my story epic, in order to make my dreams, my vision real, I need to step beyond that idea that I do not have enough resources, I do not have enough people supporting me, I do not have enough, I'm not enough, all that enoughness, not enoughness, that society and marketing in a general way imprinted in us. Like, you are not enough without this product. Oh, buy this product, because without this service or product, anyway, you might have not resources. All of that is so unconscious. And for our vision, let's revolutionize it. Let's put it upside down. So, Maria, how would you do that?
So, apart from society and the way that we have been raised in as a natural, as a trend, the neediness, for example, the neediness of I am not a whole being, and I need, the need is also that it starts with the parents, that the way we have been raised is not to be or to feel independent very soon and responsible for our own lives very soon, which can be done. The human being is a very, very intelligent creature. It has an enormous potential to understand and to create. But I feel that from the very beginning, in the way that we're raised, this potential is not brought up at all, and it continues on school, the same happening there, and university the same. But it's not just society. Our brain, actually, the contrary, we could say, like the opposite of the abundant mind, is in a way the survival mode, and that we kind of have it by default just because we are in a human form and we need to protect this body. So the survival mode in the later brain is going to be active, and what this brain or this part of the brain does so magnificently is looking for problems, is looking for lack, is looking for what is not right or what is wrong, that I may advance myself to protect this body. So this part of the mind is constantly looking for potential problems, potential dangers, actually. And in doing that, what is focusing is on the negative, in what could go wrong for me. And it's just not limited to the body. It has extended to all things emotional and psychological. So if we don't consciously shift our minds to a more evolved, let's say the mammal brain, and then the human brain, especially the pre-cortex, then by default, we will be thinking of what we don't have or the potential dangers around us that can affect us. Even if there is no threat to our life, to more human beings, there is no threat to their lives, and still they feel anxiety, and they feel a constant sensation of a threat. So it takes time, as you Ayrton know as well, to really get your mind to work for you in your own benefit, and not to be running unconscious programs of survival. So the first decision is to be conscious, to get yourself informed about it. It's not just that I say it. There is so much information about this, so much research about the human brain, that you can get yourself more information about this if you need it, and just invest the time into observing your own thoughts. And you will see that many of them, if you have not already invested a lot of time in your life and energy in shifting your mind, you will see that most of the thoughts tend to be more in the negative But because of that doesn't mean that you're a negative person. It's just by default, that is the part of the brain that is more active. And then you can get into, when you are more conscious of yourself and this limited kind of thinking, you can start connecting, and you can start actually being more the master of your own mind, and start connecting to higher realms of possibilities, unlimited possibilities. That's why Ayrton and I decided to call this YouTube channel Visionaries Unlimited, because the potential is infinite. And here's also something that I always say. One of my mottos and one of the greatest beliefs that I have is everything is possible when you are connected to that kind of, let's say, to that, not dimension, but it could be to that, yeah, to that realm, and to that part of your mind that feels no limitation whatsoever, that experiences no threat whatsoever, but the opposite. And in the everything is possible, it doesn't mean that everything that is possible is going to happen. It just means that everything is possible, period. Not that just by the fact that it's possible it's going to happen, but if you're completely open, and that when you're completely open to everything is possible, so everything that I desire is possible, you are already living, experiencing an abundant mind, just by having and holding that belief. And I pass it back to you, dear.
I receive it. I receive it back. And I'd say that, as you mentioned, this unlimited possibilities, as you mentioned, this, well, at the very end, it's survival, right? And we need to be the ones who take over our mind, who become able to master the thoughts, the inner critic, the thinking, the survival, the actual lizard and most ancient brain. One another thing that, as I said, like before, I said society and marketing. And I probably have that perspective because I come from a business and economic management, international relationships background.
Yes.
And the first lesson in each and every university of the world currently, at least kind of modern universities about economics, is that economics is the science of dealing with scarce resources and how to redistribute them. Big problem. F, huge F, massive F, dot, big problem. We are starting from the thinking that there's not enough resources for everyone here. And that's FBS. And today I'm really in this moment, like, okay, when Maria brought to me the topic, like, for today, and it was abundance, like, I don't have much to say about it, or I would kind of reframe now that reaction of me is like, if I start talking about it, oh man, I get on fire and angry, because that's wrong at the roots. Yes, the survival is created because we've been surrounded by such a lie. We've been building towers, big towers, skyscrapers, double skyscrapers of banks. And now I'm maybe turn myself, because otherwise I risk to go. That manage things, and they say there's not enough for everyone. Was like, that's not true. Right now I'm really attacking scarcity, and I'm attacking scarcity mindset. The fact that it says there's not enough resources for everyone is trying to tell me then that the 15% of humanity that consumes the 90% of resources, like, that 90% of resources wouldn't be enough to at least feed well enough the rest of the population, the other 85% of human population not having just a 10-15% of the resources. Do you see this? That's caused by a mindset, an approach. The fact that this morning, and I'm going raw and with examples, this morning I left my kid like 3-cycle bicycle, I don't know what to name it, but a toy of my kid out of the gate because I went for a walk, and my mother, as she walked in, she brought it inside, and then she told me, "Oh, you left it outside. If someone took it, if someone took it, what it meant? If someone took it, it meant that from inside they felt the need to bring it to some other kid because maybe some other kid needed it, and we have enough. We have so many things that our kid, my kid, can play with inside of the house. So this attachment kills your abundance. And it's caused by the fact that we've been told that there's not enough. Or you're not enough without XYZ product or service. You're not enough. What the heck? You are enough. You have enough. You have enough to take a bold step forward. You have enough to go out there and talk about your vision. You have enough to support who needs support. We always have enough. And it's not easy, I know. And I am not saying that I never fall into the trap. I'm speaking to the trap, and I am unveiling, uncovering it for us, also for me. Kind of, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself to remind myself of the risk I'm exposed to each and every day. And I would go back to that survival. That survival means that your subconscious brain thinks that if someone steals the kid, the toy that you left outside the gate, you're gonna be in danger. You're gonna be endangered and at risk and maybe feel bad, or something's gonna happen to you. Is that true? I challenge you with this question, because I don't find truth in that statement. Not a glimpse. The only sufferance that you have is the attachment you have to that toy. And I'm not attacking you. I'm just stating this as I stated to myself. As I told my mother with love, let's be honest, like, hey, mom, look around our house. How many toys could we give away? Do you see? Like, this is a metaphor. This is an example. This is my personal life example by this morning. Tell you how often our survival lizard brain gets activated, as Maria spoke to that, and why we're so programmed and wired towards that direction. So I leave it to you as a reflection, dear visionary listener. How can we redistribute abundance? And I leave it to you, Maria. Bring it on.
So while you were saying that, so I think that the first scarcity mindset that gets active there is the negative presupposition that someone is going to steal it, and then that you're going to suffer because it disappears. So it's kind of the first one is, I assume that someone is going to take it from me. The second part is that I am not going to feel as well as I was before with this object. And of course, it's very respectable that you can experience these two, have these two thoughts and the emotions that come with them. They're also very natural. I'm sure that everyone here has experienced the being very trustful and leaving things unwatched and never thought that anyone could take them from you, and someone did.
Yeah.
That hurts, because you were all loving and all abundant, leaving your things around, not thinking for a second that anyone could take them, and someone took them. And I think that at the very moment, the best, at least for my experience, and I think yours looks very similar, Ayrton, is that, okay, so it was meant to go away from my proprietorship, so to speak. And that person who stole it, or may have taken it by mistake, that could also happen. But if the person stole it, that person needs to learn whatever they need to learn through the process of taking things from others. And life, at a certain point, will teach them what that feels like, So there's nothing we can do about it, and there's nothing wrong about us or wrong about the other person. It's just part of we are learning and teaching each other in a very different way. If we don't get attached to the things, or we think of injustice, because this is and one day, dear, I really want us to focus on this, the concept of injustice. This is huge, and also society is built around this. And to me, I think is a huge mistake. The concept of justice per se, but we'll get into that.
Very delicate topic, by the way, because
I know.
Thinking like private propriety, like, and all that. It's like, oh, I mean, so that's not mine. How dare you saying that? It's like, okay.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. It's very interesting. Very
but
deep,
I agree.
actually.
I agree with that. I mean that.
So there's actually nothing that you can do to make sure that everything that you own right now will keep on being yours, because laws continue to change. There are people who steal things everywhere, and things can be broken out of nowhere unexpectedly, a tornado, whatever, anything can happen, that all the things that you think are yours can be taken away any moment for whatever reason. You're not in control of that. No one is in control of that. And how can we feel safe in this world when we cannot really have a control on the things that we own from a social perspective, or the people with whom we have relationships, because they can also leave us any moment. And we can be past our whole life thinking that I may lose this object, or I may lose this person. Again, the scarcity mindset completely on. Or I can feel abundance. And what I have realized throughout my life recently, what I learned is that the first step to feel abundant is that you feel safe within your own self. Because the abundance is not going to come from outside. I mean, you can get to a point in your life where you have a lot of money, but if the abundance doesn't come from within, very soon you will realize that you will not be fulfilled by that money at all. You will not be fulfilled by that ideal partner that you had been longing for. Nothing outside of you is capable of fulfilling you. This is a natural law. And it just takes the time for you to experience it, to just know that this is true, not because anybody else says it. It's just, if you had right now everything that you dream of, and it's not really coming from within, the mindset and the sensation of abundance, it will be very painful for you to realize after a little while that you keep on feeling an empty space within, a hole that hurts. So for me, the first level of abundance needs to come from within, the safety of you knowing you and loving you.
Okay. A question comes like directly stripped and attached to this. Are you afraid of losing it, whatever it is? Are you afraid of losing it, whatever you have earned, whatever you have acquired, bought, built, created? Are you afraid of losing it? And what safety, going back to safety, does that make you feel? How is that fulfilling you? How's that fulfilling the emptiness inside of you? And why do you need that external object, human, event, success, name it, to feel complete. You're so beautiful and abundantly complete without anyone in life, without anything in life. Yeah, big houses, beautiful cars, wonderful partners, like wife, husband,
Trips around the world.
traveling, trips, whatever. But are you afraid of losing those?
Or not ever experiencing them.
Or not ever experiencing them, like still staying in that kind of, if I don't have that, if I don't experience such and such human experience and success, love of my life, geographical freedom, financial freedom, oh, that's gonna be a shit. Is it? No, it's not. It's just a belief. It's just something we bought into. And as I wanted to do it before, but I did not want to jump into and in between what Maria was saying. And I want to bring back love in the room. I love you. We love you. Please, you love yourself. I love myself. It's fine to feel that. It's part of the human experience, and the soul is here to learn it. I can't and I won't fight my father, my mother, because they want to lock their house with locks and bars, because next door they've stolen 3 weeks ago. They're afraid. They're afraid. They worked for a lifetime to build what they built. They're afraid. I personally, energetically, don't feel the need to close an inch of my house. It's open because I have nothing to lose. They steal my laptop, my ego would go, fuck, what do I do now? I leave, I keep on living.
Okay, this is a more tricky one. What about your kid?
The ego would be devastated. My life keeps going. It's my kid and it's not mine.
I know.
My kid is a sentence from the magical, wise man, the sage Khalil Gibran. Your children are not yours, he says in the Prophet. Your children are not yours. You are like the bow and they're like an arrow, and you're just the bow, and you are supposed to prepare the ground and shoot them far.
Support
them, but still they're not yours. So maybe this is in a way.
Yeah, we have another topic. Yeah, we have another topic here.
You brought the kids in the picture, and talking about the kids, what I'm doing right now with him is to make sure, and I cannot in a way make sure, also that is an attachment, but I am doing my best to make sure, knowing that let's see what other influence anyway we will influence his brain, his human experience. I'm trying to make sure that he's not attached to his things, and that he has this natural, he keeps this natural tendency to give. And when he plays with the other kids around him, I see in particular the grandparents, but the parents, and in general, like general society. And I'm not coming from a judgmental, so really I'm bringing love, because oh man, it's so sometimes so hard. We're such in a condition like war. Why do you need to take over another country, P. I call you P. I'll call you P. P dot, because you know who you are and whoever knows who I'm talking about. Why are you trying to take over another country? What for? You'll die without it. You'll die. And that country and your country, which is not yours, but will not come with you in your graveyard. So you see, like, he's playing the kid, because when he was a little kid, he was told that he needed to take things with force. He was not abandoned unless he used the ego, the force. Like I need to take over, and that's survival brain. It's purely into survival brain, and so.
And yes, and this social idea from the 20th century that, especially that the more you have materially, the better you are in life. In general, that's the concept that I also have been raised with.
Yeah, it's a recognition, right? I mean, it
the more you have materially, the better you are prepared for life. And the better you are prepared for life, of course, when you have, and this is tricky because for me, what I believe is that we have physiological needs: eat, drink, and sleep, and have a roof under which to sleep safely.
Yeah.
Apart from that, the rest is just an extra. It's not a need. And then what I'm really saying, that, you know, what to me is an existential need. An existential need actually is that I am able to live a life where I can be me and where I can put my gifts at the service of others. That, before any other need, when my physiological needs are covered, that's the only one that I feel internally that is a true need from an existential and cosmic perspective. Just the fact that I am alive, it means that I have been created for a reason, and it means that I have specific qualities to perform in a certain way. As a flower has a certain qualities, a daisy has a certain qualities that no other flower has, and it's meant to bloom in a very specific way. Well, every single human being has in nature that the same, is meant to bloom in a very specific way, and that is a real need. When this need is covered, Ayrton, that's the moment where I felt, where it started to be covered, when I started experiencing myself and putting my gifts at the service of others. That's when I started to feel safe in this world. That's when my life started to make sense. That's when I finally started to feel abundant. Not with anything else that I have experienced, of course, beautiful things that I have experienced through objects and through other people in my life, wonderful experiences. Never, ever something was as fulfilling and bringing me actually true peace and joy than identifying my gifts and putting them at the service of others. And that is my real blooming, actually. Fulfilling the potential of all the possible ways that I can express myself and manifest myself and bring fruits into this world for others to enjoy, while I'm enjoying producing these fruits. Is not that a perfect example? The unlimited possibilities of me as a unique creature to bring fruits into this world, to produce these fruits.
It is.
What any other abundance are we talking about? And with the abundance of the fruits that I bring into this world, because it's an intelligent, super intelligent world, ecosystem, eco-universe, I will get gifts back. That will come naturally. What I just need to be focused on is the ones that I am producing are the most beautiful ones and the most of the best quality that come with my natural being. No extras, no layers are needed here. Although I am absolutely enough, everyone is absolutely enough in essence. They just need to experience it. They just need to know it.
So I'll bring it to a closure here.
It's time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's time, and it is important to remind our crowd, remind our dear visionaries that they have enough. They are enough. You are enough. You have enough. And we're here to remind you, to empower you to use that enoughness of your essence, of who you are, of what you have. And absolutely putting it to the service of others from a compassionate, from a loving, in a collaborative way, and from a space of everything is possible. So this is the opening, the grand opening of the community, the intention for us to have this first 150 super souls, the first 150 founding members of Visionaries community on the platform that we're opening next week as we're speaking. Our wholehearted intention is to bring this topic into concrete implementation every single day, every single week, every single month for the years to come, in a community that is made up by people like you, who truly believe things can be changed, who truly believes we have enough, and therefore things in a way, in an abundant, compassionate, loving, collaborative, transformational way to make this world better and better and better and better. And it's not even better, but it's bringing, and it's adding value, more valuable, to add value, to add value, to add value.
An improved version of this world.
Yeah, it's absolutely what we're doing and what we're inviting you into. So community is opening. Down somewhere, down below, in the description of the video, you'll find some more informations. And you're welcome, Visionary. Welcome home. Stay tuned. Comment, like, share. Tell us what you think about the topic.
Connect.
We bring so much. Connect. This is why we're doing this.
And I think, Ayrton, that we're going to do I think we can do an abundance mindset too, because I really want to talk about more things as visionary leadership as well, that we can do kind of a series, both for visionary leadership and abundance. There's so many things that I want to talk about, and I'm sure that you too. So we could do that.
Yes.
So to be continued, our dear visionaries.
Continued, visionaries, and abundance number 2. Stay tuned. Join the community, subscribe to this channel. We love you. Stay visionary.